Alright, back to the Ro32 here. In this CiC Qualifiers, we've got FREZ, aka CiC, and also known as Angels from Gotet. I'm not sure exactly which one of these tags they prefer, but they've got FREZ, which doesn't seem to stand for either of those things, and then some SJUKTTRADIGT, which is probably something in Swedish, and I do not understand it, versus public virgins, who are much easier to understand because their tag is PubV, so clearly they're just public virgins, and out and proud, good for them. Nobody on the other side we really recognize, although Penguin has played, I believe, for TDN Sweet Super Sirs for a while. I think I've seen perhaps other people on this Legion side before, I don't know, but Penguin is definitely the guy that you should recognize. He's a pretty solid Bubbles player, and presumably that first pick Bubbles will be in his hands. I believe he's their Suicide player. I think he is. I'm just not sure because there are quite a few really good Suicide players in the lower tiers of teams, and it's weird that they're all Suicide players. I'm particularly thinking of him in Voxel, but so I don't know. Anyway, bans are out. Benzington, Kronos, Ophelia, and Madman being eliminated, as Narcy on the Hellborn side getting rid of a couple of strong Suicides in Kronos and Madman, and Drogon banning out a third in Sir Benzington, plus the Ophelia, pretty popular jungle option, and one of the better heroes in the game, no doubt, though seeing quite a bit less use as a result of the new patch. So all those bans make plenty of sense. Madman, perhaps one we don't see it banned out too often in the early game, but definitely a strong hero that we see a fair bit, so no real issues with any of those bans. They all make a fair degree of sense, and especially because I think Penguin is the star kit player for this Legion side, so getting rid of heroes that he might play, not a bad idea at all. Then Drogon counters that by immediately picking up a Suicide and Bubbles, so well done to counteract those bans and be like, alright, if you're going to continue to take these heroes out, then I'm going to get one and make sure that I can do something with the heroes that have been left in the pool, as opposed to trying to play around the bans that you've already created and draft other stuff. But anyway, Torture will be their second pick. Obviously strong zoning support, strong laning support, very good in the dual lane in most situations. Possible tri-lane hero as well, so we'll see how that hero gets used, but a good second pick. Doesn't reveal too much about your strats, and Meraxis will be their third selection, so no doubt going to be an initiator type hero there. Could be paired with Torture. Torture could also go in the bottom lane as a babysit for a hard carry. I think at this point I'd probably prefer that. I think Torture is a decent enough mid lane support, and he's nice because he certainly can play that role, so if you pick him up early and you're like, oh crap, well all of a sudden I'm on a jungler and I'm on a dual mid or something like that, you can certainly put him in that lane without feeling too iffy about it. But if you can pick up a better zoning support or a better mid support, and there definitely are a fair few, I think that's not a bad idea. Rhapsody's there, Pyromancer, Engineer, maybe even Glacius. Plenty of options for the middle support, and Torture reasonably high up on that list, but not the highest, especially considering what's still available. Hellborn side, you're going to pick up Puppet Master, Kraken, and Tempest, and all strong heroes there, of course. Strong team fight here so far with Kraken and Tempest. The jungle option there, always very nice. Waiting to pick up their supports, and it's a strategy I do not disagree with at all. I think it's quite fine to do so, to pick supports around your farmers. Puppet Master also providing plenty of gank along with Kraken, and Tempest can deal a little bit, so they've got some strong initiation here, they've got some pretty solid push, they've got some gank potential, they've got some team fight, and I'm liking this lineup from the Hellborn side so far. They've also got some versatility. Puppet Master can be played mid or short lane, although you usually see him in the short lane. Could even be a support hero if you want to go crazy. Kraken can also be played in all three lanes, so plenty of options here for the Hellborn side. The only thing they're really locked into is that Tempest in the woods. And similar story, I guess, for Legion side. Bubbles can be played in multiple lanes. Merax is almost always seen in middle, so I think that it's fair to say, okay, he's going to be middle. And perhaps the Legion side lacking a little bit in the team fight. They've got the Kelfield, they've got the Meraxis Shield, which I don't even know what that's called. I never play Meraxis, I hate this hero. Matrax. Yeah, I believe Narcy is the manager for SG, so we'll see how he does here. If he's picked up some tips or tricks from Swindle. Anyway, so Legion side perhaps a little less versatile, a little less in the team fight, bit stronger in the gank area, I would say, and not quite as adept at pushing here. So far, Hellborn line a little bit better. Then again, the Torture picked up earlier on. You know, supports don't really add that much in terms of a lot of areas, so they'll be able to get their lineup quite a bit stronger here with the Moon Queen, and that's going to add the team fight. That's going to add some push, and that's going to add some hard to carry potential as well. So strong pick there, no doubt. Bans are out. Legion side takes out Wretched Hag, Rhapsody, and a Luna, so getting two of the strong supports here, and will be countered by a Master of Arms. So removing two of the better supports in the pool, as well as the Wretched Hag, which also has some versatility, and no doubt strong bans there. Hellborn banning out Keeper the Forest, Draconis, and Pharaoh, so getting rid of another suicide option, as well as the potential suicide in Keeper, but more likely jungle, and then the hard carry in Draconis, but they do leave the Moon Queen open, so that is the pick. On top of Behemoth here, so Behemoth going to be seen again. Interesting, considering we don't see this hero too often. We almost never see melee supports, but it will be seen, I believe. This is another game. There's a different game that I just casted that we saw Behe support, but not going to tell you what it is, because go watch it if you haven't seen it already. But did pretty well in that game. I think there were factors that were beyond the fact that there was a Behemoth in that game that made him do particularly well, but regardless, that's no doubt a good hero. And Plague Rider will be picked up in the last pick, so that's going to be a Suicide Plague here. Presumably we're going to see Puppet Master and Master of Arms in the top lane, Kraken in the middle, and Tempest in the wood. So Hellborn lane's fairly predictable, but quite strong. Legion side are perhaps looking for, I don't think they're looking for the tri-lane here, probably looking for the dual support. The defensive dual lanes, excuse me, and Penguin is on that bubbles like we thought. And he'll be in the suicide lane. I'm suspecting it'll be Miraculous of Torture in the middle, Behemoth, Moon Queen in the bottom. And I really would not be opposed to seeing the Hellborn go aggressive on this Moon Queen, because they're going to have some range issues considering they got a short range Moon Queen and a melee Behemoth in the... God damn it. I keep forgetting to do this recently. But now it's done, so whatever. I'd like to see the Hellborn man up here and run the aggressive dual lane, potentially even with the Tempest in the Legion Woods. NQ's a hero you got to shut down early, otherwise she will get going and she will become very, very dangerous. You know, in games that last a while, I don't think she ever loses. I can check it right now, but I'm not really interested in pulling it up. Maybe I will. Who knows? But okay, now I'm curious. So, all right, Moon Queen. Let's see how well you do. Let's take Moon Queen, and we give you a minimum time of half an hour. 40% win rate in 20 games. That's not pretty. How about 40 minutes? It's getting worse. Ouch. Apparently she does better early. That's surprising. Yeah, 66.7% win rate in games that go at most 30 minutes. Generally 51.4%, so interesting that she gets actually worse as the game goes on. It's a little surprising. Not quite what I would have expected, but that's what the numbers indicate, so curious. Anyway, no surprise here. It'll be the Beheat and Moon Queen bottom lane with a Suicide Plague Rider. They do not decide to go aggressive. Master of Arms moving over here into the middle lane to help out Kraken a little bit, and again, not that a big a surprise as they initially decided to do the lane top, but when realizing, oh crap, there's a medium middle dual lane, maybe instead we'll go to the middle. And can't really blame them for that decision. Kraken would probably be okay as on his own in the dual lane here. He is such a strong laner that it wouldn't be that big a deal, but Master of Arms perhaps wasted up top on its bubbles and can do more damage here in this middle lane, so we'll see the dual mid, and gonna see the top Bubbles versus Puppet Master, and I'm Interested to see if Puppet can actually, you know, do well in this lane, because Bubbles with burst damage, meanwhile, bottom lane. Anyway, Fissure gets blocked off, and he actually can't. That's a really nice Fissure. Wow. That was an amazing Fissure. Well played to Ainoa. And he actually gets a Bloodlust, or no, Moonqueen gets, sorry. Well played to Drogon. As MQ is playing the orange, or orange is playing the MQ, whatever, it's early. And obviously Bloodlust going to MQ, they're not really what you want to have happen, but we'll see how they can recover. As B, he will be pulling this once again and stacking, and then he will be pulling into the wave, probably in the next level, because looking for some lane control here in this bottom lane. So, like I said, I really would have preferred to see the man up here, just because MQ is a hero that needs to get shut down early to make sure that she doesn't take off, and this is exactly what you do not want to have happen. Where your Moonqueeps. I'm all missing stuff all over the place. This Puppet actually gets a kill somehow. Oh, Shell Surf was way short. And Puppet Shell is there to get the kill. So, ends up being 1-for-1 now, with both short laners getting a kill. Obviously, Bloodlust going in favor of the Legion side gives them a bit of an advantage. But quite content to trade that and get a kill on their own Puppet Master. So, pretty heavy deny of creeps here by Behemoth. And look at the GPM charge real fast. MQ obviously up there with the Bloodlust, but Puppet Master not doing that well, especially considering he also got a kill. And Merax is really farming extremely well. Considering this is a dual lane, you'd think he'd be getting harassed a little bit more than he is, but 313 gold per minute, so Merax is off to a really good start. And obviously that's very positive, as Charge Shot comes out there, preventing the stomp. Kraken has a bottle, so does Meraxis, not a huge surprise.
You're not going anywhere.
Master of Arms making pretty liberal use of his Charge Shot early on, and as a result he is out of mana. He will sip that bottle and run for the bottom room. At 4 minutes, we'll see who gets it. Tempest running for the top one, and it's going to be bottom Invis. Torture here, and Behemoth sort of collapsing on him, so he's actually going the right way, because that could have been a little bad. Meanwhile, over here, Tempest still in the woods. Get 244 gold per minute, so not farming badly at all, especially considering we're only 4 minutes in, so well done to him. Up top, Puppet continuing to do pretty well, 340 gold per minute all of a sudden here, so he's quickly catching up on this MQ. As Bubbles is getting boxed to the lane pretty heavily, but Puppet's going to lose lane control here, so that's going to be a bit of an issue for him. Also doesn't have too much mana left, so if he wants to get a little more aggression on this Bubbles, it's going to be more difficult, considering he doesn't have enough for both Puppet Show and the strings. As well as Moonqueen's also lost lane control actually, so an issue in both short lanes. Stun going there onto Plague Rider, but they're not going to follow it up, as Moonqueen not looking for Moonbeam. Notable that B, he is stacking this camp apparently, but hasn't been stacking this one. Illusion Meraxis is going to be chasing down Master of Arms here. As Kraken's getting left alone a little bit, with Meraxis forcing Master out of lane a little. Tempest is in here with the Invis, though, but they've got a Rev Ward right there, so they know exactly where he's at, and that's going to be a bit of an issue. Nice ultimate hitting both of them. We'll see if they can actually do anything with this. There is going to be a Torrent onto Torture, but he's not going to get hit by anything else, and he's actually going to die. but they will get the kill onto Torture. Definitely a good trade, especially considering it cost him a Tempest ultimate. So having that red ward right there, huge deal. Master of Arms down in a lot of trouble. One more auto attack, and that's going to be enough. So they actually get a double tap here in the Legion middle lane. And now they're going to try to chase down this Tempest. Are they going to be able to get this? One more axe, one more auto attack, sipping the bottle here. He might have dug himself into a bit of a hole here. There goes a Glacial Blast. Second stun also going to go off, and charge forward. Torrent's going to get the kill. So Moraxis with a deep dive, a bit of an overextension there, and he will pay for it. So Tempest going to go bottom, pick up the regen rune, and probably pop it so he can stay in the woods. Yep, and then give it right back to Master of Arms. We'll hand it off to Kraken. And top refreshment, obviously, going to be there. Should give it to Kraken, get his mana back, and then go refill it at the refresh there, Master. There you go. Chain reaction there on a Kraken, but not going to be too much, especially with the charge shot follow-up and the Torrent. We're going to see the Matrix come out, and the Behe Spidge are going to come off to the side as well. Kraken easily dropping to the Matrix damage. Actually, Torture getting the last hit with the Impale, but way too much lockdown with 3 stun rotation. As Behe came in for a nice gank. Moon Queen continuing to do pretty well in this bottom lane, but her farm falling off a little bit, 320 gold per minute. She's been steadily declining since that Bloodlust. Not a huge surprise, but you'd think that her CS would stay a little bit higher than it is. Pub Master up top, 320 gold per minute, has overtaken her. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, we're going to get kill onto Narcy, actually, as they dive heavily into this tower. Kraken into port back in, looking for something. Chain Frost going off onto 2. And this is actually the play I'm watching Dota. Meanwhile, off to the side, Drogon will drop, and we're going to see Moraxis try to get away. He is going to drop there to just Contagion nuke, and up top we actually saw Puppet Master get the kill here onto Bubbles with the Puppet Show, and he will be okay. Yes.
Smackdown.
So he'll be alright, and we'll in fact port back to base. And of course Moraxis trying over here. Sorry, I've been watching some Dota 2 recently, and that's the Lich. It's not Plague Rider. Plague Rider's ultimate is the Plague Carrier. So Hellborn taking a 6-4 hero kill advantage. A couple of kills up on top being really the main difference here, as we've got, I think, Legion are down one in the middle lane, and they're up one in the bottom lane. Tempest here is level 8, going to be pushing this middle tower already. Behe off to the side, looking for the Fissure. And Glacial Blast going off. Torture is here as well. Fissure does not block everything off, so a bit unfortunate there, but nice attempt. As Tempest will head back into the woods, another red ward put down here, and Torture's going to counter both the counter ward and the ward of sight. Just placed, obviously, so that's a bit unfortunate. Top lane, Pinglin not really having a great game up here. 170 gold per minute, and Pink is just destroying him. As we've got Plague Rider at 230 GPM, so actually he's having a pretty solid time here. He's 2-0, so those 2 kills really helping him out. But yes, score not terrible either. 23 and 14, obviously deny helping with that 14 denies. But you compare that to Penguin, actually 26 actually, up top, and we were talking about him, and there he's going to get caught out there with Puppet Show, and the strings, and Whiplash, and he's dead. So, just too much damage here, and Bubble's sitting at 682 health, pretty much no health items. He has the Ring of the Teacher, so giving him some arbor, but that's not really that helpful. And C just needs to be a little bit tankier at this point. Yeah, so Penguin actually has 26 CS, so it's just about the kills and the fact that Penguin's died 3 times. The GPM charts here. Actually, you can see Kraken get jumped with Chain Frost there. Fissure coming out as well. Will block off Master of Arms, and easy kill on the Kraken once again. And might look to follow this up on the Master. That's not going to happen. So, picking off Kraken one more time. Illusion Rune will be bottled here by Moraxis, as Narcy does not feel comfortable going after it. Bottom lane, we got a port coming in here to support Plague Rider, probably Kraken, yeah, and he is level 6, has the release to Kraken, so they're looking for something to set up on this Moon Queen here. Meanwhile, top lane, Puppet Master takes out the tower along with Tempest. Ultimate coming out from Moon Queen here, and that was interesting. Were they going to drop the release for Kraken here, though? They have to. Oh, Fissure going down. Okay, that was just terrible. I don't know what it has to be a lack of communication there, because Plague Rider basically just dived Moon Queen and said, alright, kill me with your ultimate, and it looked like Kraken had the range on the release. The Fissure from Behe, obviously a bit of an issue, but it seemed to me like he could have dropped the release onto Moon Queen. So, definitely not what they wanted to have happen. They were looking to kill the Moon Queen, not give her a kill. Nonetheless, Puppet Master is at 355 GPM, the top farmer in the game, with both Meraxis and MQ just behind him. Tempest also doing quite well in the woods at 340 gold per minute, and Kraken at 300 GPM. Not bad at all. So, as a result, Hellborn have taken about a 2k gold and 4k experience lead. Looking good in the early going here. More counterwards going on everywhere. That's obviously in range, but it's going to get countered, so. The battle of the D-wards here in middle lane. We've got Plague Rider off to the side, looking to set something up, and perhaps this gank will be a little more successful than the one Kraken provided in bottom lane. Plague Carrier is available, along with the release of Kraken. Everybody's ult here is up, and Tempest not quite coming in. Obviously, Red Ward here probably spots Plague. It does provide limited vision, so I think that they know that he's here. And he's in fact going to back off and head back to bottom lane. MQ hanging out in the woods now, has her Whispering Helm, so able to take some jungle creeps and let Behemoth take the farm in the bottom lane, who's obviously looking for his portal key here. 1800 gold saved up, so he's not far from it at all. 350 gold. And he will have it. 250 now. So that's going to be relatively early PK for Behemoth, and obviously a really, really valuable item for him to have as soon as possible. The initiation potential it provides is just fantastic, especially because Bingley on this Bubbles is not having really great farm. In fact, Behe, no, not aren't farming it, but not that far away. Meanwhile, here off to the side, Tempest and Behe catch each other. Portal key is available on Tempest. He jumps in with the Glacial Blast there. Only stuns once. Did he fog it? Yeah, he must have. Fissure goes down onto Plague Rider, but there's the Torrent as well. We're going to see the ultimate coming out onto 2, and they're going to try to lock down somebody. The Fissure is still blocking everything. Release the Kraken gets dropped. Plague Rider there is going to drop the Plague Carrier. It's going to be a double tap, and we'll actually clean up this creep camp as well. So 3 ultimates dropped. They get a couple of kills, so absolutely worth it, especially because they got that Moon Queen kill. And Hellborn's side in Pub Virgins are playing real well here. And they're looking to take down this bottom tower with the Tempest Elementals. Should be able to do so relatively easy. Up top, actually, Puppet Master gets jumped. The Matrax coming out with Cell Surf, and the kill goes to Prodam on that Meraxis. So Puppet Master pushed a little bit far up without any vision and gets jumped. Meraxis also has his portal key, so PK is getting picked up all over the place here.
Destroyed a Legion tower.
Kraken about 300, 400 gold away from his. I think Behe actually abandoned his quest for one. He's only got 650 gold, and he bought an Amulet of the Exile, so I think he was going to go for one, obviously, and then that death basically set him back a little bit too far. So choosing to go for the Ring of Sorcery here, perhaps? And I don't know, man. I think they might have gone for it anyway. It's a little unfortunate that that happened, and you're like, ah, well, you know. Really wish I could have had it sooner. The death was not a great time for me, but it doesn't set him back that far. It's a couple hundred gold lost. Middle lane Pink will be pushing this out once again, and perhaps going to be set up on? No. DD Rune is up on Meraxis, obviously also has that portal key, so really good initiation potential there if they want to try to jump somebody. Looks like Pub's going to go for the Whispering Helm into the Shrunken Head build. A little interesting that he's not going for the Assassin Shroud, the typical one we see. But Legion, Triple Ancient's going to be taken by Moon Queen here. And Hellborn are doing their own Triple Ancients as well? Yeah. But with 4 heroes instead of 1. Because Moon Queen can do that. still is not going to quite be enough to put her at the top farmer of the game. Tempest now taking over that mantle, and Kraken actually doing real well at 350 GPM. So we got 5 heroes really hovering just below that 350 GPM mark, and no doubt Hellborn's consistent tower taking is helping them out a lot with that, as they will take their last tier 1 tower in the middle lane. And they're also going to pour top to defend their top tower. Definitely a good idea, containing this map and keeping the Legion on their own side as much as possible, preventing them from being able to safely farm their woods, obviously. Actually, Matrax going to jump here on Plague Rider, and he's just totally dead. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, they're actually going to pick on a Torture, as Portal Key picked up on Kraken. Yeah, and he's going to get jumped in there. Torrent, splash, dead. So, Plague Rider for Torture, not a great trade for the Hellborn, but not the worst thing either. At least they got a kill.
The Legion have destroyed
Top tower
a
does fall,
Hellborn
so
tower.
a bit unfortunate there as well. But they were bound to start losing towers eventually. 10 to 8 hero kills in favor of the Hellborn. They're also looking at about 2.5k golden experience lead. Here off to the side, ultimate coming out from Moon Queen, and the ultimate from Behemoth. Easy kill there onto Kraken, so he jumped in without... once again, without the support of his team. Tempest there, just not looking too good, and a bit unfortunate. Since now connecting, I guess maybe he casted the second half of this game or something like that. I don't know, but whatever. I was here first. I'm gonna keep going. Technically, I wasn't here first, but shut up. Counterward here from Master, not bad. So relatively even game here so far, as we're still looking about, actually it's going down. I mean, we're looking at about a 2,000 golden experience lead, now we're down to 1,000, so... nothing crazy going on in terms of one team taking a massive advantage of the other, and it's a bit questionable, in fact, which side has the late game here. In terms of late game heroes, Kraken and Puppet Master are perhaps a little bit better. Jump here off to the side, Kraken will catch Behemoth. He also has a Portal Key, but obviously he gets deactivated there and he's just dead. Matrax gets popped over here. They're going to jump onto 3, and there's a nice stun. Pops the Matrax and the Moonbeam. Kelpfield onto 2 here. Puppet Master in a lot of trouble. Nice ultimate from Tempest and the Plague Carrier, but immediately gets cancelled by Puppet Torture. He's going to drop for it though anyway. And ends up being a 3 for nothing in favor of the Hellborn side, as they use a bunch of ultimates, but obviously worth it as they pick up 3 hero kills. And Legion side use a couple of ultimates themselves, so... Anyway, hardest carry in the game, Moon Queen, second hardest carry, Puppet Master, third hardest carry, Kraken. So, here, actually, off to the side, Moon Queen get caught here, takes the charge from Kraken, and she's just totally dead. Easy kill there, as they catch her at, once again, the Portal Keys of Tempest and Kraken, proving to be extremely difficult to counter. Especially for a relatively immobile hero, and Moon Queen, obviously very strong move speed, but the lack of jump initiation there. Actually, they're going to see a jump onto Kraken here, and he's going to die. Relatively squishy here, but a nice ultimate from Behemoth there. Easily takes out Master of Arms. One more attack onto Puppet Master. No, Axe not going to hit. Axe, and finally they do pick him off here. Perhaps going to try to take out Tempest, but also maybe driving a little too far. Actually, off the side, Plague Rider will catch, as the rest of the Legion side has respawned, and they're coming right back in. So that was a 3 for nothing, and all of a sudden the Legion side are like, yeah, well, we can kill heroes too. And they pick off 3 of the Hellborn heroes. The fact that MQ still died probably makes it a win for the Hellborn, but not really as positive as it was before when they had taken 4 for nothing. Anyway, so, and then you gotta get a question the initiation. You got a Tempest portal key, Kraken portal key, so the Legion never really get initiation. You've got a Meraxis portal key on the Legion side, plus Bubbles will presumably get one at some point. So that's really strong initiation. The burst damage, not that great on either side. It's really hard. I mean, these are two really even drafts, to be honest. I don't even think the pushing's that much better on one side. You got Torture versus Torture and Moon Queen versus Tempest and Master of Arms. Even the Whiplash helping a little bit from Puppet Master. So I think this game might actually come down purely to who's going to outplay the other team. And that's often what it does come down to in the end, but a lot of it is also like, we had a late game draft and the other team had a mid game draft, and we could drag the game out for a long time. We, you know, not even necessarily that you're making the best plays. Sometimes you make mistakes and stuff like that. It's just, oh, at some point our lineup becomes more powerful. So we don't actually have to play well for the first half. We just have to stay in it, and then eventually we'll take over because that's what our heroes do. This is not that sort of situation. This is like you're going to have to outplay your opponents at every stage of the game in order to win this, which is good. Like that's the fun thing to see. That's what you want to see. So I'm excited, you know, to see where this ends up. Everybody pretty much farming their own woods, trying to play it a little bit safe here, as we're once again relatively leading here. It goes as well, 14 to 13, experience and gold almost dead even. At this point, you know, 1,000 gold and experience not that different, you know, so -1%, -2%. So basically at this point, you know, one team controls 51% of the resources, the other team controls 49%. That's not a lead, that's a decimal point. Kraken, you're going to jump on a Bubble's not going to catch him, as he did charge, didn't connect anyway, but the take cover went off as well. I think Legion do need to start taking some more towers. They have taken the top tower, which is nice, and that'll open up the Hellborn Woods, but the mid tower is still at half health, bottom tower pretty low in fact, and they should be looking to push this. It looks like they sort of are, but I think I'd like to see a more concerted effort to try to take it out. Items we haven't talked about pretty much at all. Bubbles actually picks up a push buff. I guess figuring that portal key is going to be too late, might as well just skip it, go for a more utility build. I can't really disagree with that. Behemoth actually has almost a Hellflower picked up. Going to be very valuable to deal with that. Puppet Master, Kraken, Tempest, obviously canceling his ultimate. MQ going for the Shrunken Head after her Whispering Helm, so not going for the Firebrand quite yet. Going to be a bit of an issue when it comes to her farm, but you can see all the magic damage to the Hellborn side, and you're like, yeah, okay, I get that. Release the Kraken, Plague ultimate, and the Tempest ultimate, among other things. Make that Shrunken Head extremely valuable, so that second pickup I don't really disagree with at all. Sorry, Meraxis almost has the Hellflower, not Behemoth. What am I even talking? I'm like, really? This farm is that good? No, I don't think so. Behemoth did get the Ring of Sorcery though, so it's going to be helpful for keeping his mana up. Fissure there on a Puppet, but no follow-up. Hellborn side, Kraken has picked up a portal key, but not too much else, as he's at 330 gold per minute. I think you have something else on the way. Yeah, that's his Mighty Blade, so he's also looking for a Shrunken Head, and then once again, Legion side, Queen Ultimate, and the Bubbles, the Behemoth Ultimate. Pretty easy to see why you'd want a Shrunken Head on the Hellborn side, and that's why Puppet Master's already picked one up. Tempest going for one as well. He has the Mighty Blade on top of the portal key and the Ring of Sorcery, so he's looking for a Shrunken Head. His next item, Astrolabe on Plague Rider, and I like that decision as well. I'd also like to see a Barrier Idol from him, and he has investments, so hopefully that will be his next item. Just because for the supports here, you know, for himself and for Master of Arms, for the ones that don't have Shrunkens, and for when the Shrunkens wear off, really, or if they get jumped or something like that, especially with the Behe ultimate, having that Barrier Idol up and having it mitigate all that damage could be extremely valuable if they're trying to push the base. Behe, you know, notorious as one of the best, you know, tank defense type heroes. Turtle, that's the word I'm looking for, turtle type heroes in the game, just because you can keep spamming those fissures, and if you get a little too close, a little too grouped up, he can jump in and ulti you, and then all of a sudden it's like you're dead. It's called Shockwave, yeah. Looks like Legion side are interested in pushing this mid tower though, as there's the ultimate jump onto the Kraken. It's a fake Kraken, and Merax gets charged back, and he's now in some trouble. Arcane Helm goes off there. Ultimate on the Tempest going in the background. Gelfield goes onto a couple of the 3 Kraken. Ultimate from Plague Rider doing a ton of damage here as everybody in Legion side is dropping. Merax is the last one alive except for MQ, who is not even in that fight, and he will also fall. So ends up being a 4-0 in favor of the Hellborn side, and you can't do that. You can't get the jump like that without MQ being right there to follow it up, and you can't do it into that many teamfight ultimates. Relief the Kraken, Tempest ultimate, and Plague ultimate all went off there. They do so much damage if everybody's grouped up, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, Tempest in the background too made a really good decision, not ulting on top of the Release the Kraken, instead choosing to cut off the Torture and who else was that? Behemoth, something like that, and being like, yeah, like, you know, the other guys are caught by the Release the Kraken, and they'll just get killed by the Legion side or by my teammates. I'm gonna lock down these 2 heroes so they can't help, because really, it's not that big a deal if we don't do damage to them. It's more important to be like, we'll take you and we'll take you. You go one after the other, you know, try to kill everybody at once, because that can often result in people helping each other out. And if you lock people down, then you know, Torture can't throw a stun, Behe can't throw a stun, etc., etc. So this Concord Temp will be interrupted here. Moonbeam going to go off on Puppet Master, but he should be okay. Actually, Fissure goes off, and he's in a little bit of trouble. Shellsurf coming in here as well, drops the Shrunken Head, and we'll see if they actually turn this around. Shrunken is also up onto Moon Queen, ultimate coming off from MQ, and actually Puppet will drop here. A little too much damage coming out. Plague Rider and Master of Arms off to the side. They're both in some trouble, as Plague Rider actually, Torturer falls in the first, and Master of Arms also going to die. Hellborn side all of a sudden on retreat here. Hellfield goes on to 3, plus the Hellfire is down. Hellflower is down. Release the Kraken gets dropped onto a couple, and the Merax is stumped. Will get the kill onto Plague Rider, as we get to see a port onto Tempest. So that's going to be an engagement, but nice reinitiation there for the Legion side, and that's going to result in a tower push for them.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
Perhaps even a Congo attempt. MQ picking up a Challenger's Bane all of a sudden, and she's at 480 gold per minute, and that was a little surprising. I did not even notice how quickly she got farmed. Will steal the Hellborn Ancients. Those triple stacked Ancients getting taken over and over again, I'm assuming, is what happened, and man, that will get you so much farm so fast. Gonna leave the Dragon there to prevent stuff from respawning. So nice fight back there from Legion side after they lost a real bad team fight, and a tower ends up winning another team fight and taking a mid tower of their own. Perhaps not as good as what the Hellborn side got out of it, especially considering they had a secondary tower, but they definitely got something back, and that's pretty critical for them. Where to sight? That might not be in range, and they might not see it anyway. We're sure hanging around here like, yeah, maybe he does going to be jump onto him with the Torrent, but those are Illusion Meraxes, and actually nice Word of Rev going to go down there and should allow them to do some stuff here. Illusion Meraxes are going to get killed, and that's not going to be enough to take out that Word of Rev. So, Torture dropping a couple of words. They're immediately countered thanks to a Master of Arms Word of Revelation, and they're going to try to go for Gongor here again. I don't like this decision. I'm not sure if they can kill it fast enough, and I think Hellborn are probably going to be aware that this is happening. Yeah, they definitely are. Behemoth's all the way back in base is notable, but Hellborn don't know that. So if they went right now, they could probably do it, but they don't know that Behe's not here, and now Behe is here. So they really can't do this, and they should back off, and they are. So that's good. That could have been a really, really bad initiation there. It will be the barrier on Plague Rider. I'm liking that decision. Shrunken Heads are finished on Kraken and Tempest. Once again, excellent choices. MQ having her Geo's Bane, of course, going to be finally outputting a lot more damage in these fights. As you know, Whispering Helm and the Shrunken Head did not really provide a lot of damage. So having the Geometry's Bane on top of that is going to finally increase her damage output point. That she's going to be really scary. Puppet Master is caught here. He has an Assassin's Shroud, so does finally get that, and excellent use of it to run away because he was nearly dead. Behe, for some reason, hanging out in the little nook in the woods there. Up top, Kraken will be porting away, so he'll be alright. Merax is going to clean up the farm up here as MQ continues to get scarier and scarier. Puppet Master not really taking off in the same way, as you know, she's nearly 500 gold per minute, and he's still sitting at 380. Kongor here off to the side is going to be attempted, as the Legion side do know this is going on, and they're going to try to counter it, so it is dropping really, really fast, and the question is, can they get everybody here in time? Ugh. DD Rune is there, and they're going to put the Fissure down, but that's not going to stop the Kongor kill, and they don't want to initiate on this now because the Hellborn have a token, and they're still relatively healthy. So, nice sneaky Kongor there, as the DD Rune no doubt helps out quite a bit. So we just pop the Shrunken? Yeah, Kraken just popped the Shrunken for no reason. Oopsie. Notable that the Plague Armor, I think, at this point is going to become a major factor. This is what, plus 8 armor? It's a fair bit of damage reduction, especially considering Moon Queen is becoming a larger and larger percentage of the Legion's damage. So Hellborn, I think, are in a solid position here. The issue is basically just that, you know, so we're Legion, you know? It's not going to be easy to push into this Moon Queen. It's not going to be easy to team fight against her, even with all the team fight abilities they do have. Krakenov here, going to be in some trouble. Drops the Fissure on top of him. He's going to have to try to get out here. Ultimate from Behe, and that's going to be... Oh god, ultimate from Master of Arms. Are going to follow this up? No, and Kraken will get away. Tempest. No, it's a port from Puppet Master. Words. MQ going to be pushing this bot lane, has lots of backup though. A couple of portal keys on Behe and Miraxis are going to support her. And they're just going to go straight for this tower kill and it's going to die relatively quickly. Top lane being pressured by the Hellborn, but this is going to drop first. And meanwhile here off to the side, Behe gets the Glacial Blasts on him. He's going to be in some trouble. Miraxis gets dropped there though, and really they're getting the counter here. Tempest's going to fall right off the bat. We're going to see if Master Prime can get away with this. No, he can't. Ends up being a 2-for-0 here off to the side. Playground will port away, so the 3-man push there not successful at all, as the Hellborn take a bot tower, or the Hellborn lose a bot tower, and then 2 heroes in the top lane with a successful defense from Legion. MQ at 520 gold per minute, and we are now at the MQ GPM watch is basically what's happening, because she's just getting crazy. I believe she already bought a Dancing Blade, and there's the Snake Bracelet. So these Ancients should finish off our Wingbow. They definitely will, now they're being triple stacked. Such an effective farmer. And there's a Wingbow. We're pushing in bottom lane, but the Legion gang squad's coming at him. Nope, just MQ farming stuff. And there's a Wingbow. We'll be flying out momentarily. They're going to be pushing this bottom second tier tower. We've got 3 right here and 2 more coming in on the Hellborn side, so it's going to be a pretty aggressive push right here. All 3 ultimates all are up, so no surprise that they'd want to do that right now. And the token on Puppet is going to be up here for another minute and 30 seconds, so this is definitely their time. Bot tower falls, and this is going to be their chance to try to break high ground. Legion do need to come back here and defend this, because they're not going to win the base race. Top tower falls, mid tower also falls. But they're losing a lot of damage on this base tower, and they might actually have it drop here. Kraken off to the side, going to drop his Shrunken Head, and his ultimate onto Behemoth. He won't be able to get a Shockwave off. Ultimate from Tempest will only catch Bubbles. Ultimate from Moon Queen in the background, taking a bunch of damage, but Bubbles is going to be the next one on the list. And Shokin falls off there, plus Kraken's dead. Now Puppet have a Hellfire on him, and the Kelphield coming out with a buyback from Bubbles. That's going to be a pushback from the Legion side, and the Hellborn need to get the hell out of here. They might not be able to do so. Portal Key is up on Behemoth, but he's dead, so not a huge deal. Nice, actually, use of the acid there to stop the Portal Key there, but Plague Rider, you're still in some trouble here, buddy. And he's definitely going to drop. So it ends up being a 4-for-0. Base tower actually gets denied, a little interesting there. But the fight back from Legion, quite strong. Bubbles did have to buy back, but definitely worth it as the kill field caught a couple of people and helped contribute to 2 kills. But all of a sudden we have 5.5k gold and 7k experience lead to the Legion side, and MQ's coming for your children, man. Buybacks are available on Kraken and Puppet Master, but they're not looking to use them, I think, at this point, considering how close they are to reviving anyway. We'll see if the Legion can turn this into a substantial push. MQ's trying to get up here as fast as she possibly can. Acid Bomb gets dropped. Will help with this counter push a little bit, but Kraken gonna charge Torture back in here. Splash Auto, an easy kill. Shrunken Head goes off to make sure there's no initiation onto him. Tempest jumps in, but no ultimate. And he's going to get reinitiated on. Ultimate coming out from... Nope, actually there's PubV Behemoth, and that's finally going to show up. Shrunken Head onto Moon Queen, and she's just wrecking the base. Puppet Master Ultimate will pick off Behemoth, but this is going to be Rax, as MQ is just like, yeah, I'm killing everything. Puppet Master here off to the side, puts his Shrunken Knife, releases Kraken, drops onto Moon Queen, but she does not care. She's too tanky here, actually drops the Moonbeam on him, and now going to try to turn this around. Puppet Master obviously dying as well. Blade Carrier will finish her off, so... Ends up being a Rax, but the Legion side are able to get pushed back by the Hellborn. It does cost 2 buybacks here on both Kraken and Puppet Master. They're looking for a kill onto Miraxis. I don't think they're going to find it. He's got a portal key up in a couple of seconds. Assassin Shroud is there. He PKs into the woods. Does not have TP, though. And so they're still looking for him. And he could still be in some trouble. Bring the courier over. Yeah, here it comes. He's portal keying away, trying to live. And they might think that he just TP'd. Bring it down, guys. Yeah, they think he TP'd, so he's going to be a safe. Wow. He's going to be able to portal key all the way over here to the side, jump by TP, and portal out. That was a free kill. So, a bit unfortunate there. Now they're going to see him and be like, ah, damn it. So, Hellborn do push that back. They lost Rax in the meantime, as the mid-melee Rax fell. They did get the kill on Moon Queen, but I don't think she cares at this point. 586 gold per minute, and she's going to get another item here at about 1,000 gold. And it will be the finished Symbol of Rage. I like that a lot. Get tanky. Mirax is picking up a Shrunken, too. No doubt a good item as well. Bubbles working on Sheepstick. And it's having a CC tool is, once again, the Hellflower and the Sheepstick, no doubt very valuable, not only for stopping Tempest ultimates, but also for stopping Kraken for doing anything, preventing Puppet Master from going invisible. Extremely helpful here. As I think it's notable here, too, the Puppet's never really gotten above that 380 gold per minute mark. And usually he does farm pretty well. He takes off pretty effectively with that Whiplash, doing a lot. Tempest looking for a Resto Stone here. We'll see if he can actually get it. Still not super close to it. Needs the... what is it? The Life Tube Manic Tube combination. I don't even remember what it's called. So, MQ finishing the symbol here, 1,100 gold, saved up. They're probably going to want to make sure she's got a buyback before they initiate again. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them. Has this thing actually been sitting here for that long? I really hope not. So they're probably going to want to make sure that she's got a buyback before they go in again, and she's going to need about maybe 1,000 more gold before that happens. Which shouldn't take long. Less than 2 minutes at our current rate of farm. And Hellborn are definitely on the back foot here, but they're not out of it by any means. They've got all their ultimates up. Tempest ultimate available, Plague ultimate available, and Release the Kraken is available. So if they can either take a good team plate where they catch 2 or 3 and a Tempest ultimate, have a Plague ultimate go off and hit a bunch of people. Actually, here one in the lane, we're going to get a jump onto Kraken, and he's going to be in a lot of trouble. He's getting locked down by all sorts of stuns and will drop despite the Shrunken Head use. So that's a problem, as he does have a buyback and he's going to need to use it. but that will be his last buyback. Congo has to be up soon as well, so they're perhaps looking for this. And we'll kill this Ancient. And Legion side are going to push this bottom lane in. Kraken needs to buy out here. His ultimate is up, his Shrunken Head's down, but he needs to be available for this fight. Geospan gets popped by MQ, and they're just going to start wrecking this, so I'm waiting for the buyback on Kraken. And there it is. So they see the buyback, and they back up. Geoband Illusions continue to do some damage, but obviously will get killed relatively quickly. So they force the buyout, they leave, Kongor's back alive, and I would not be shocked to see them try to take it. It would be a little risky here, but they do have a fair amount of vision, so they'd probably see the Hellborn side coming in if they were getting aggressive. Plague Rider here, I think, is in vision of this ward, so they're going to reinitiate here. Ultimate on Tempest, will only catch Moon Queen, but they have the reinitiation in the back as well, and Moon Queen gets tableted out of it. So Tempest ultimate doing nothing, her ultimate's going up, killing everything. Carpet Master to be the first one to fall. Charge back from Kraken as the Kelfield's onto 2, Plague Carrier onto 2 as well, on top of the release of Kraken. Torture dies off to the side, as well as Plague Rider. Bubble's trying to chase down this Kraken, he gets Puppet Show put on him, and actually gets the kill over here, so it ends up being a 3 for 1, as Pink buys back in that Puppet Master, that's his last buyback. And here off to the side, Tempest is caught in the woods a little bit. Ends up being a reinitiation here on the Puppet Master, and he's going to die again. He's got no buyback, and that's got to be game. This is just going to be Moon Queen meet base, at which point base die.
A Hellborn barracks has been destroyed.
Yeah, this is going to be mega creeps here, because Kraken has no buyback, Puppet Master has no buyback, and that's the CC. So, really well played to both sides. And this game was not decided until like the last 2 minutes of it. And solid drafts, excellent play. Really, really a great game. And the Legion side will be the deserved winners here, as they were just good enough to take out the Hellborn. And for a round of 32 matchup, I think this might have been the best game we've seen played so far at the CiC Qualifiers. And I'm acting like it's over, but I don't know, they haven't passed the CC bow yet, so maybe they're feeling like they can get back into this. I don't think that they really can. They've got 2 lanes down already, no buybacks on either Kraken or Puppet Master. Convoy's going to be killed here, which means Moon Queen's going to have a token. And MQ is basically, at this point, going to be like, I'm going to walk into your base, get Mega Creeps, kill everything, and either I'll kill you, at which point it's really over, or you'll kill me, and then I'll come back with a token and proceed to finish killing your base. So,
Kongor has been slain.
If it wasn't GG's before, I think it is now. But apparently Hellborn not feeling like that's enough. And I can understand that. I mean, they've been in this game for so long, and all of a sudden they're down 17.5k gold, 14, nearly 15k experience. This is the first substantial lead that either side has had in this entire game. And it may not feel like it. Even though they're down 2 racks, they may still feel like, yeah, you know, we get one good team fight, we're back in this thing. They've got the Tempest ultimate coming back up in 30 seconds. And if they can hit a real good combo all bolts, maybe they can do something. Charge here on Kraken into Bubbles. He's going to be dropping the release of Kraken on him here, but he gets tableted out, and he might be okay here. Drops a Sheep Stick off the side onto Tempest. Ultimate from Behemoth will get the kill onto him. They do drop Bubbles, but that's going to also be a death onto Kraken, who has no buyback. We'll see if they can actually stop this port, but from the Puppet Master they cannot, but his Shrunken Head is now down. And this is going to be a top push from the Legion side. So no buyback on Kraken, no buyback on Tempest. His ultimate is available, but obviously not going to be up for 60 full seconds. Portal Key picked up on Plague Rider. That'll help him initiate. And the Legion side are basically going to be able to just push this in without being worried at all. I mean, no, like I said, no Shrunken on Puppet for a while. Ultimate going off here on Plague Rider, but that's not going to be a really great idea, as the ultimate from MQ comes out and Plague Rider is in a ton of trouble. Despite the barrier, Idol still will drop here. Hellfire goes down onto Puppet Master, but he actually is going to be okay as he's jumping into the well. Moon Queen, for some reason, decided to dive the well and getting puppeted, trying to live here. Obviously, that Moonbow evasion doing a lot to help out. And she will just barely survive. Torture also getting really, really low here. Moon Queen gonna drop here. Evasion. Wow. She will lose a token, but Puppet Master perhaps going to lose her life as well. Shrunken Head does go off. Master of Arms in a lot of trouble, will drop to Maxis. And Torture actually going to die to Puppet Master here, but Puppet Master also in a lot of trouble, dies, and he's got no buyback. Tempest here puts the Shrunken Head down and ultimate. Charge back in here into the well, and Braxis, he's going to take a bunch of damage and will not die thanks to the Behemoth coming back in and stunning everything. Release Kraken gets dropped. He does finally drop, but so does Kraken here. Ends up being Mega Creeps. The Legion decided to end this the old-fashioned way.
The Legion had destroyed a Hellborn tower.
As here goes the throne, and the CC book gets called. So that game, man,
Defeat.
ends up being the game. So
Wins.
well played, really, to both sides. As you know, strong draft, strong play all throughout the game, and Legion ended up being a little too powerful at the end. They really decided that, though, like I said, in the last 5 minutes or so of the game, and that's what you like to see, even all the way through, and really, really, really well played to both sides. So Legion side will move on to the round of 16, and unfortunately Hellborn are knocked out of the CiC Qualifiers at this point. And that'll do it for this game.